morning. I'm Pacifica Northwest.
And I'm Seth Rogen.
And this is C-SPAN News.
Today we're going to be talking about something that's really near and dear to our hearts here at the C-SPAN family.
The First Amendment.
Yeah, thank you, Seth. Yes, today we're going to be talking about the First Amendment, more specifically the freedom of the press.
Freedom of the press. Did you know, without freedom of the press, journalists would be forced to tell lies spread by the government and forbidden to tell the truth to you, the people, the Americans of our great country.
Sorry, Seth, not to interrupt your little rant you have going, but we actually have to pan to our weatherman, Norman, for the weather on the ones.
As you can see from the storm raging outside, nothing is happening. As you can see, the entire town has been blanketed in a white coverage, censoring all information going in and out of the media. In a blanket of snow. But, as you can see recently by the comments by our president, our press is supposedly fake and unwanted, when in reality the First Amendment grants us access to any and all information fully uncensored. Thank you. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Norman. Okay, anyway, this amendment states that Congress can't pass laws that prohibit people from telling the truth in the media.
At around 7:10 a.m., he says the public is just beginning to figure it out. What do you think of the term fake news?
Well, I think, first of all, what the president means by fake news is news he doesn't like, news that disturbs him, angers him. It's not fake news to tell the truth, and it's not fake news to report on what people in positions of authority say are happening. Now, sometimes sources are inaccurate, sometimes broadcasters or journalists are inaccurate, but the underlying theory, the underlying core of the First Amendment is that it is not for presidents to decide what the news is. That is for an independent press and an independent public to pass judgment on.
In the 2016 election, the media successfully uncovered unpleasant facts about all the candidates running, which helped inform Americans about who they were really voting for.
This amendment allows journalists to broadcast any thoughts, beliefs, information out on various mediums. That's all we know about the Watergate scandal. Haha, sorry, Nixon.
What's that? We're getting a call from a man in the field. Norman. Back to you, Norman.
Thanks, Seth. I didn't want to come inside anyway, into the warmth of the studio. It's okay, I'm not hurt at all. Anyway, as you can see, the winds are gusting, blowing away all the information that should be reaching the people but is stopped by censorship in our country. We need you, the people, to act, speak out. Let people know that the First Amendment right allows us, the press, the news, the newspapers, the online, social media, everywhere, we are allowed to express information to any and all people willing.
Since 1992, 911 journalists in other countries have been killed in the field trying to uncover truths for their people.
Given all this, there's still limitations on the amount of information that can be shared by the media. Por ejemplo, the Supreme Court actually limits the amount of protection confidential sources can have. This was decided in the Supreme Court case of Brandsburg versus Hayes in 1972.
Reporters can actually be prosecuted and forced to reveal the names of confidential sources when revealing certain truths about the federal government to the media.
Yes, correct. I was getting to that. But yeah, despite the First Amendment being here to protect the media, sometimes it can fail.
However, in our country, with our widespread and fast-moving nature of social media, it's hard to censor what Americans can and cannot have access to, media-wise.
The framers of the Constitution had our best interests at heart, and it helps us out today, even in modern society.
So use your resources. Research. Watch the news. Knowledge is power.
All right, well, that's all we have from tonight at C-SPAN News. Good night.
Buenas noches.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Stay safe.
Stay warm.